Hello world, Assalamu alaikum. This is Songlap News now. Here is the official details of Advisor Farida Akhter, Interim Government of Bangladesh. মাননীয় উপদেষ্টা মহোদয়ের জীবন বৃত্তান্ত ফরিদা আখতার প্রোফাইল প্লেস অফ বার্থ Chandaish, Chittagong, Bangladesh, Nationality Bangladeshi. Educational background Masters in Economics, Chittagong University, Bangladesh. Farida Akhter is the founding Executive Director of UBINIG, established in 1984. UBINIG originally stands for UNNAYAN BIKOLPER NITI NIRDHARONEE GOBESHONA. UBINIG Policy Research for Development Alternative is a policy and action research organization in Bangladesh. Its main work is research, campaign and advocacy and to undertake action programs in the field of social development. UBINIG runs field offices called Biddaghors in 3 districts including Tangail, Pabna and Kushtia. In these centers, UBINIG carries out ecological agriculture programs with farmers, fishers and other relevant occupational groups. Over 300,000 farming families including fishers and livestock keepers are involved in the program. And following a biodiversity-based system called Naya Krishi Andolon, this movement is comprised of small-scale farmers having land below 5 acres. The farmers preserve local variety seeds and carry out research on over 3,000 varieties of rice. UBINIG helps the farmers through the community seed wealth centers and an active network of Naya Krishi Seed Network. UBINIG also works on poultry, bird diversity and livestock animals, those which are raised by the rural families, especially the women. UBINIG is working in 2 major tobacco growing areas, helping farmers willing to get out of tobacco cultivation for alternative crop production. UBINIG also is a part of a South Asia regional program called Community Biodiversity Management (CBM). UBINIG works with potters, weavers and different artisan communities. UBINIG also runs Nari Grantho Prabartana, the first and only feminist book store and feminist publishing house in Bangladesh. Nari Grantho Prabartana runs a women and biodiversity network in 46 districts of the country. She is the convener of Anti-Tobacco Women's Alliance in Bangla called Tamak Birodhi Nari Jot Tabinaj and Women and Biodiversity Network which are active in 45 districts of the country. Since 1985, she has been actively involved in the national level women's movement and is an active member of various international networks. She has been active in organizing many international, regional and national conferences in Bangladesh. She has been the co-convener of Shastho Andolon Health Movement since 2000. Member of Resistance Network, a network of various women's organizations on the issues of women's health. Member of the South Asian Network on Food, Ecology and Culture, SANFEC. Council member of Asian Women's Human Rights Council, AWHRC. Instructor, Participatory Action Research and Planning, SAS2 Dialogue, Canada. www.participatoryactionresearch.net. She has presented papers in many international and regional conferences held in Asia, Africa, Latin America, Europe, and North America. She has participated in the Conference of the Parties (COP) of Convention on Biological Diversity and WHO Framework Convention on Tobacco Control (WHO FCTC) on Framework Convention. She has also participated in the World Conference on Tobacco or Health held in Abu Dhabi, UAE 2015. Research experience. Since 1980, she has carried out extensive research in the field of women's development health issues, agriculture, fisheries, marine, handloom industries, garment industries, population and other related development issues. As a researcher, she has been leading the major research works carried out by UBINIG. These include research works on health care system, shrimp cultivation, tobacco cultivation, biodiversity, handloom and textiles, etc. A social research on health. 1. Illness behavior experiences from 6 villages in Bangladesh. Part A. General indicators sponsored by Essential Drugs Project A. GOB Danida SIDA WHO Project 1988. 2. A study of the impact of the UHFWC and the medical assistant in 2 unions of Bangladesh 1984. Research conducted by UBINIG in 1984. Research sponsored by Royal Netherlands Embassy. 3. Emergency food and medical supplies in Bangladesh 1988-89. Research conducted by UBINIG in 1989. Research sponsored by Gano Shasthya Kendra and CUSO. B. Research on industrialization and industrial workers. 1. Implications of the introduction of new technologies for the role of women in the textile and clothing industry in Asian development countries. The case of Bangladesh, sponsored by UNIDO, Vienna, 1990. 2. Women workers on glass, telephone, textile, electronics and garment industries in Bangladesh. Regional study on impact of industrial restructuring on the conditions of women workers in 6 Asian countries, sponsored by CAW, Committee for Asian Women, Hong Kong, 1994. 3. The impact of technological changes on women's work in Bangladesh. Research conducted by UBINIG in 1995. Research sponsored by the United Nations University Institute for New Technologies. 4. Options for women in textile and handloom sector. Research conducted by UBINIG in 2003, in 2002-2003. Sponsored by United Nations Development Fund for Women. C. Research on shrimp. 1. Study on socio-economic and cultural life of shrimp fry collectors in coastal area of Bangladesh. Research conducted by UBINIG in 1987. Research sponsored by Bay of Bengal Program of FAO, Food and Agricultural Organization of UN. 2. A study on freshwater prawn, M. Rosenberg 2, fry marketing in Bogu Borguna, Patuakhali and Chittagong. Research conducted by UBINIG in 1989. Research sponsored by Bay of Bengal program BOBP of How, Madras, India. D. Research on agriculture and related issues. 1. Study on women and pesticides. Research conducted by UBINIG in 1998. Research sponsored by Pesticide Action Network, Asia and the Pacific. 2. Uncultivated food in the context of food security of rural communities. Research conducted by UBINIG in 1998-1999. Research sponsored by International Development Research Centre, IDRC, Canada. 3. Farmer-based strategies for financing community seed wealth and agrobiodiversity, a UBINIG ongoing study, 2000 through 2003, sponsored by IDRC, Canada. 4. Food security in South Asia, enhancing community capacity to generate knowledge and influence policy, a UBINIG action research study in 1999 through 2002, sponsored by UADRA, Using Agricultural Diversity Research Award of IDRC, Canada and SANFIC, South Asian Network for Food Ecology and Cultural. 5. Action research based on community 5. Action research on community-based biodiversity management, strengthening livelihood and building resilience to climate change in rural communities. A South Asia country-based program conducted by UBINIG for the period 2008 through 2013, sponsored by Local Initiatives for Biodiversity Research and Management, LIBIRD, Nepal in collaboration with Development Fund, Norway. 6. Women, Rice and Livelihood, an explorative study supported by IWRAW Asia Pacific in 2016. E. Research and action on tobacco cultivation and alternative livelihood. 1. Study on from tobacco to food production, assessing constraints and transition strategies, Bangladesh. Research conducted by UBINIG in 2006 through 2008, sponsored by International Development Research Centre, IDRC, Ottawa, Canada. 2. Study on from tobacco to food production, consolidation, dissemination and policy advocacy, Bangladesh. Research conducted by UBINIG in 2009 through 2011, sponsored by International Development Research Centre, IDRC, Ottawa, Canada. Editorial experiences. She has edited many books published by Nari Grantha Pravartana. She is a regular columnist in national newspapers and journals within and outside the country. Books in English. 1. Women and Trees, Trees in the Life of Women in Kaijuri Village, 1990, published by Nari Grantha Pravartana. 2. Food Sovereignty and Uncultivated Biodiversity in South Asia, Essays on the Poverty of Food Policy and the Wealth of the Social Landscape. Joint author with Farhad Mazhar, Daniel Buckles and P.V. Satish, 2007. 3. Breaking the Dependency on Tobacco Production, Transition Strategies for Bangladesh by Farida Akhter, Daniel Buckles and Rafiqul Haq, T2. In the book Tobacco Control and Tobacco Farming, Separating Myth from Reality, edited by Wardy Lepan, Natasha Lequors, and Daniel Buckles, published by Andem Press IDRC 2014. 4. Depopulating Bangladesh, Essays on the Politics of Fertility and Reproductive Rights by Farida Akhter, published by Nari Grontho Prabartana, 2nd edition 2022. Books in Bangla. 5. Freedom from Tobacco Chain, Bangla, Findings of UBINIG Research on Shifting Out of Tobacco to Food Production, supported by IDRC Canada 2012. May I repeat? 5. Freedom from Tobacco Chain, Bangla, Findings of UBINIG Research on Shifting Out of Tobacco to Food Production, supported by IDRC Canada 2012. 6. Protirodhe Nari by Farida Akhter, published by Agami Prakashani, 2nd edition 2024. 7. Purushtantra o Nari, co-authored with Farhad Mazhar, published by Adarsho 2022. 8. Bikrito Bij by Farida Akhter, published by Agami Prakashani, 2nd edition 2024. ঢাকা, বাংলাদেশ। আই ভোট, একটি স্পর্শী একটি ভোট সমগ্র জাতির জন্য একটি চূড়ান্ত নির্বাচনী সমাধান। আই ভোটের নকশা ও প্রস্তুতকরণ দুটোই হয়েছে সর্বসাধারণ ভোটারদের জন্য, যেন সবাই একটি স্পর্শী একটি ভোট দিতে পারেন। আই ভোট, ইনস্ট্যান্ট রেজিস্ট্রেশন অফ ভোটার্স, instant creation of executive positions, instant nomination of candidates, instant vote event management, instant result of the vote event. This is the voiceover text of the official details of the advisor Farida Akhter, Interim Government of Bangladesh. Thanks for watching. Comment, share and subscribe when you like. Thank you very much.